Hey guys, it's Miss Cochran. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're getting outside, enjoying the nice weather, and you're not too bored. I know we've probably watched everything on Netflix and Disney Plus there is, so hopefully you're maybe going for walks and playing outdoors and you're not too bored, but still getting all your schoolwork done. So anyway, I thought I'd do a quick little video on Unit 7. It's called Transformations, and last week you did work in Khan Academy on part of it. On translations, and we're going to finish that up this week and then also talk about rotations, okay? And not too long ago they used to actually call this unit, instead of calling it transformations, they used to call it flips, slides, and turns, because that's basically what we're doing. So anyway, let's go ahead and kind of do an overview on transformations. And I did attach these notes to the little right underneath this video. You'll see a link for the notes. So anyway, let me just walk through some of the stuff just to make sure we're on the same page. A transformation, it just means that you're changing the position. And y'all excuse my writing. You know, I've not written on a board or anything in like weeks. So changing the position and or the orientation of a figure on a coordinate plane. And quick review on congruent. Remember, congruent means they are equal. Similar is same shape, different size. So let's see, congruent figures, and remember that congruent, they have the same exact angles and they have the same exact side lengths. So basically there are two figures that are exactly the same, okay? Side lengths. Similar figures, they have the same shape, which means they have the same angle measures. And they have what we call proportional side lengths. They're not exactly the same measurement, but they are in proportion. Okay, so proportional. There we go. There's a couple of other things that you need to kind of know vocab-wise. There's something called a pre-image. And that little prefix right there just means before. So really what this means is, what does the shape looks like? What does the shape look like before the transformation? Okay, it's kind of like your original image. Okay, and then over here you're also going to see it vocab wise. It's called the image. And the image is just, how does that shape look? Yep, you got it. After you either shift it, flip it, turn it, okay? So it's after the transformation. Okay, so that's two things that to kind of know. And let's look at translations. This is the first type because there are four different types of transformations. A translation is a slide, okay? So slide means that it doesn't turn. It's not doing any like mirror images or anything. It's just sliding over. And you can see that's a slide down and a slide over across the Y. So you see your original triangle is ABC. Well, when you slide it, you can still label your points, but what you're going to see is that little apostrophe looking thing right there, okay? And when you see that, that means this is the pre-image, this is the image, okay? So that's after you slide it or after you translate it. And I do not know why they went ABC. I would have done AB, whatever. Anyway, but just match them up because you're not turning it. It's exactly in the same spot. Each of those points is the same spot. It's just moved down or across, okay? And look at this. This is your pre-image, and it is being translated up across the Y, or the X here. And again, you would show the image with that little apostrophe thing, okay? And you should have, if you did your con stuff last week, you should already know pretty much what translations were. I think that's probably one of the easiest concepts we have in this, because you're not flipping it, you're not trying to figure out degrees or any of that kind of stuff. So it's just a slide. So you slide that bad boy over, okay? And then you relabel it with your little, I don't know what you call those apostrophe like little things, but it just means the image. So the original triangle is your pre-image. After you translate it over, or you slide it over, it becomes the image, okay? So let's talk about rotations. I am going to spend a little bit of time on this, just because I want you to be able to kind of relate it to what you know in real life. You already know, I think a lot of y'all know about skateboards. I'm going to see if I can draw one. Let's see. It might be pretty bad. Y'all know I have no skill when it comes to drawing. Okay, that's not too bad. And then we're going to draw like the little part, the side of it. And then there's the wheel. And there's the other wheel that's crooked. And that wheel doesn't even match. Okay, close enough. Y'all know I can't draw. So anyway, there's a skateboard. So when you're thinking about skateboards and you talk about rotating your skateboard, you've heard of 360s and 720s and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I want you to kind of think about that with rotation. And we did do our angle measures, and so you should be familiar with degrees. But let's just talk real quick about rotating. 0 degrees, and if you make a full turn, I'm going to make this little thing rotate. If you rotate this all the way around, this little arrow, that is a full turn. That is a 360, just like on your skateboard, okay? Now, most of what we're going to see in transformations with rotation is just 90 degrees. See how I just turned it 90 degrees? And if I turn it a half circle or a halfway around, it's 180. And then if I keep going, so I'm like 3/4 around there, that is a 270. And then if I make that complete turn, that is a 360. And I can't seem to get it to line back up again, but that's okay. Anyway, so that is a 360, okay? So when we think about a rotation, it is just a turn, okay? And remember, it's in degrees. So when you see that little symbol right there, that means degrees, okay? So rotations. And let's talk about clocks as well while we're at it. Let's say this was a clock. And you know the hands on a clock move this way, so they call that clockwise, okay? So we may need to think about the direction of our turns. They could be clockwise if they go that way. Or counterclockwise would be if they went this way, okay? So that does matter. So let's look at a couple of examples on rotation, okay? So I've got this little pre-image here. And remember, rotations are just where you turn the figure or the polygon. And here's my pre-image. Pre means before I turn it. Now look at this. I just turned it on its side. So this is actually what we would call, and look which direction. I went clockwise. So let's talk direction first. Clockwise. And I only went like a quarter turn, okay? So I did 90 degrees, okay? So I want you to kind of visualize if you were turning this, you just turned it 90 degrees. So that's the way you would name it, clockwise 90 degrees. And if I were to label this again, remember that's not going to be A. Your little A point was over here, and it is now the image. Your C ended up being there, and then your B ended up being there, okay? So that's what that looks like. Now look at this one. Now we went 90 degrees, but instead of going clockwise, we went counter. My writing is terrible, I'm so sorry. Counterclockwise, 90 degrees, okay? Because you only did like a little quarter turn there. And the A ends up landing right here. It's like that little triangle is kind of laid on its back. The B goes there, and then the C goes there, okay? So this is the pre-image. This is the image after your rotation. So let's look at a couple more. This one is, let's see. Oh, look, it's going both ways. So you really don't have to say, okay, this one's clockwise, this one's counterclockwise. Either way, it's going 180 degrees. So this is just what you would call a 180 degree rotation. And look at this right here. Do y'all see how these make a straight line? And you know I can't draw a straight line either. So look at that angle measure right there. You see that? That's 180 degrees, isn't it? Because it makes a straight line. So this one's just 180 degree rotation. Let's look at this one. All right, here's our image. And again, look where that A is. Just like you're swinging it all the way around. And there's your A point. There's your B. And then there's your C. Because you can see that's where that 90 degree angle is, okay? So the 90 degree angle's there. Now looking at this one. We're starting here, and it's like you're swinging it all the way around this way, okay? So what's happening is this one's actually going which direction? It's going clockwise or counterclockwise. Is that what you said? Counterclockwise. And it went almost all the way back to the start. Now, if it had gone all the way back, that would have been 360. But it went 3/4 of the way back, and that would be that 270 degrees. So remember right back here when we looked on that, see how it went here, and it went all the way back, almost back to the beginning. And then let's look at the next one. And I think you can already tell that one's going to be clockwise. And it's 270 degrees. And I forgot to label our A. There's our A. There's our C, because it's right there at that 90 degree angle. And this is messy. So sorry. And there's B. So again, this one, there's our A. On our image, our right angle is my point C. And then there's my B. Okay? So that's what it looks like when you do rotations. So again, I do have these notes where you can print them down. They're probably a little... Alright, so let's talk about what you're going to be doing this week. These are your lessons. So everything's going to be in Khan, so watch the video. I do have a TikTok here at the end. Click here for notes, and then there's some extra resources if you want to go to Big Ideas Math. It's chapter 2. But you're going to find everything in ClassLink. Go to Khan, complete your modules. There is a quiz, I think, on translations, and then there's some lessons on rotations. In case you haven't been in there, you're kind of behind, so get with it. There's our class code. I think most people have been in there because we've done it in class. Optional stuff is your Legends of Learning. You can work on the Awakenings game. So do your best. Try and keep up with your work this week. And remember, don't get stuck. See, this little kitty is so cute. Don't get stuck. Review the notes that are attached on the website there. Email me or send me a picture through Remind of whatever you're working on, and I can help you with it. So don't feel like you're alone. I'm going to be monitoring both the email and the Remind, and then also the Study Island Messenger if that's better too. So anyway, hopefully it does look like a lot, kind of like last week. It looks like a lot going on, but remember that one of those assignments is just like a 2-minute video, so don't freak out. It's not 14 assignments. There's only like 10 questions in the whole thing, and you have all week to do it, okay? So go through the assignments, the little activities in the video, and then take the 2 little quizzes. So anyway, here's the TikTok coming up. Hopefully see you soon.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Snake. I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a slithery little sneaky snake. I'm so slithery and sneaky because I'm a snake.